Aloha, people. Merry Christmas, Adrian. There he is.
Merry Christmas, John. Nice to
Welcome
see you.
today to our 9th episode of Meet the Pineapple. We've been going at it for about 2 months now. We've had amazing guests, amazing topics, and we're going to keep it coming. And the one that
It's
we're
beautiful.
going to have today is a bit more... I don't know. It's a bit different. Let's put it this way. You know, it's like we've never had like one like this before. So stay tuned. Just I don't know. I want to thank again everybody for following us, for subscribing, for commenting, for writing to us in private, even on Facebook, on Instagram, because the first aim, as we said, our first aim is not to become famous, not to make money, it's just to do this out of passion. So we want to have maybe a few people following us is better than a lot, but people that care. So if you all care for our videos and care about what we say and our guests that we have, we appreciate that so much. So thank you once again. And we all know that one more thing that I wanted to add is that I always add on Instagram a story with the episode that we had, with the topic, with the guest, but especially with Adrian fun facts. Every call, Adrian asks something different. He asks a different question that I have to try and guess. And then I put it on Instagram and I ask you guys to guess the answer as well. So especially the last one, I had a lot of answers, a lot of people responding to the story. Mostly everybody got it correct because it was Vatican City. It was fairly easy. I think a couple of people said San Marino and one said Liechtenstein, but it's all very, very small countries. So we don't blame anybody for not guessing the right answer. So today we have our 9th fun fact. Go ahead.
It's amazing. I've tried to connect it a little bit with the topic that we're going to have today. More or less, let's say it's going to connect, but I will want you to answer to me, if it's possible, to know where is the resort with the most swimming pools in the world. The country. I'm not going to say, the location. The country. It's something exotic, something beautiful.
Of course.
Something far away from both of us.
Should I say, I don't know, Bora Bora?
I'm not sure how wrong you are, but you are.
As usual.
As usual. So I'm going to tell you exactly how beautiful it is, this 5-star resort. It's called Lexis Hibiscus Port Dickson, located in Port Dickson in Malaysia, has won the Guinness World Record title, for his 643 swimming pools. Guinness only, listen to this because this is the fine part. Guinness only counted pools that were larger than 1.5 meters by 2 meters. So they don't get it wrong with the supposedly larger bathtubs or hot tubs or things like this, jacuzzis and stuff. So imagine more than 643 swimming pools in a beautiful resort with a nice cocktail or a nice drink or a nice chilled water or anything in the world, enjoying this time, in this
That's
cold
crazy.
period that we have.
I'll tell you one thing. A few times I've stayed in a wonderful hotel in California that has 92 or 93 swimming pools.
Wow.
And when I told people, they said, "Oh, I've never heard something like that." So 643, you said?
Guinness World Record. Can you imagine?
I can't, but I will look it up. I will look it up and I will show everyone.
Wow. I would like to be there and have 643 days just to swim or to have a bath
once a day.
Once a day in a different one. 643. That's over 2 years. That's over 2 years. Can you imagine? Unbelievable. Wow.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Thank you for brightening our day. And I will give you the chance to introduce our next guest because you said that this, fun fact might be related to our to today's guest. So tell us a little bit about our guest today.
So he's my neighbor, country neighbor. He's amazing. His discipline for work, it's outstanding. He's a fun guy. He likes to work. He is a passionate guy about bartending, and I really I've enjoyed working with him. So I'm gonna let him say a little bit more about himself. So please let Hristo join our interview.
Okay, should we wait until we say where he is connecting from? Or should it be a surprise, you think?
Should be a surprise for everyone. So they will see, they will have the shock where, something will happen unusual. So let them see why he is, how he is.
Okay, let's see how his connection is, because I just invited him, but because he's in a kind of a remote location. Okay, I think he's
Yes,
coming right now. Be ready for
definitely.
it.
I am 100% ready.
There he is.
There you go.
Hi, Hristo. Welcome today.
Wow, look at this.
Okay.
Nice to see you.
Okay, we just want to tell people that these are not fake palm trees. They are real palm trees. So
No,
where
no.
are you calling from? Where are you connecting from?
Like today, I'm gonna talk with you from Punta Cana,
Punta Cana,
Wow.
which is
Wow.
Dominican
It
Republic.
is.
Dominican
Whoa.
Republic. Okay, Dominican Republic. Yeah, of course.
Just close to just in a far warmer place than we are.
But as you know, the world is small, so how far?
Yeah, it's only 5-6
How?
hours behind, but it's
Yes.
okay. Now we can do this, like a long time ago it wasn't possible. So welcome again, Hristo, and Adrian said a few nice things about you. So when you watch the interview later, you will see what he
Fingers
said
crossed.
about you. But tell us a little bit about yourself. So who are you? Who is Hristo?
So basically, Hristo is just a bartender. That is me. Like I always was working as a bartender. That's how I started my journey in the industry. I remember, like, you definitely don't know, no matter that we know guys with you, just how everything started was in my hometown Plovdiv, where my uncle had a bar, and he had actually two bars. So he was telling me, come on, you need to start working. I'm gonna tell you to work, blah blah blah. I'm gonna take you to work, and I was 100% sure that I'm gonna go there for a waiter. I don't know, and I was like, my God, that is such a can I say shit?
Yeah,
Like,
you can.
It's okay. It's free. It's on internet. It's fine.
I'm 16 years old, like, so it is what it is. And like I was supposed to wait around a month or something like that. And one day I met with him and he said, come on, are you ready? Because next week you need to start. And I was like, yeah. And he said, what exactly I'm gonna do? And he said, how what? Like you're gonna be a bartender. And I was like, what? A bartender? He was like, yeah, why? And I was like, I'm not gonna be a waiter. He was like, no, why? Do you want to be a waiter? And I said, no, let me. And that's how I started. And to be honest with you, very, very quickly that turns into some sort of a passion. I was very interested with mixing cocktails, meeting all these different people, serving them, make them drunk or getting drunk with them, especially on this young age. And after that, of course. So yeah, that's how everything started. I was working in, mainly I was working in Plovdiv. I was working for a while also on the seaside, a sunny beach, before I moved to England. In England, I had kind of a short experience around a year, 9 months, if I'm not wrong. I think it was exactly 9 months, but let's say around a year in a fine dining restaurant. First of all, I was working in a small hotel. It's very important to say that when I arrived, actually, we were in one small hotel as mainly as a housekeepers. I was helping in the restaurant as well, but mainly I was a housekeeper. And then that was in Devon. I'm sorry that I'm talking a little bit like my thoughts are not going in the one direction. I'm just
Go ahead.
The wind
But you
and the palms make it beautiful. So don't worry about anything.
Like I was working there in Devon, it was just a little bit boring because there is not so much to do in there. Just decided to move to Manchester. I had a few friends living near Manchester, and that's why there wasn't any actual logic in moving to Manchester. You know, Manchester. Over there, these guys, they can help us, of course, help us helped us a lot. I wasn't alone at that time. That's why I'm talking in plural. And I was lucky very quickly to find this job in this fine dining restaurant. And what is most probably the interesting part over here, that I was always working in a cocktail bars so far in Bulgaria. And at this time, I was in a restaurant. I didn't underestimate the environment at all. I was just having in my mind a little bit like, here after all is a restaurant. That's not a cocktail bar. But then after most probably 1-2 weeks, I realized, maybe less, maybe even less, I realized that the level of working is much higher than the one in Bulgaria, especially at that time. Still, there is a big difference. But like I saw the actual, like how these people working with classic cocktails, with signature cocktails, stuff that I was doing before as well, but on a lower level. So for these 9 months, I was able to learn a lot. Like they helped me, the guys over there. I was lucky as well, the bar manager over there, to be quite interested and quite focused for real about the bar job. He wasn't like, all right, guys, like pour beers and wines, but you know, we are a restaurant, and the most important here is the kitchen, especially because it was a fine dining restaurant. And he was interested, he was passionate, he was before that he was a bartender. The head bartender over there was also a guy who liked the job, and I learned a lot from them. Like for these 9 months, I improved my knowledge and my skills about the mixology a lot. Like they opened my eyes basically. And then I was like, guys, I just want to go to a cocktail bar. Like the environment, the busy environment, like constantly making cocktails. You know how like the difference is massive. No matter that how good one restaurant is, the difference is massive. So I decided to try to look for something better for me, and this was how I end up in cloud. In cloud, yeah,
Amazing story.
yeah, and that was also like a very very good experience for me so far. Great work there for 3 years. Good cocktails, good guys, good environment. It was a very very nice experience. It was very nice experience that I'm more than happy about it.
So I want to specify that when you say Cloud, we're talking about Cloud 23. That's a very, very high-end cocktail bar in a skyscraper in Manchester on top of the Hilton, where we all worked together, you know, the Hilton Manchester Deansgate. So we of course remember working with you, and especially Adrian and I, because we were on the same floor, you know, like we would say back to back, you know, like a wall separated us, our executive lounge, and your bar, but we crossed our paths many times. And I want to ask you, like the first question that I want to ask you is something that I always wondered about, but I never asked any bartender. So I want to ask you a silly question. As I'm not a very, very much of a bar person, like because I don't drink, I don't like drinking. I want to ask you, how is it possible that in bars like Cloud 23, the music is so loud? Like, don't you get crazy mad not understanding people when they order cocktails to you? Like, have you ever done a wrong cocktail for somebody because you didn't understand? It's such a silly question, but I wanna know the answer. So please tell me.
Like first of all, the music is super important about the atmosphere. So that is we are going a little bit back to what I said about the difference between the restaurant and a cocktail bar. This is most probably the main difference, one of the main differences, the environment. So you cannot have this club environment without loud music. Also, I understand your question, and I don't think that, like, you always can ask, excuse me, what did you say? What did you ask me for? And no, never happened, to be honest, to make your own cocktail.
Wow.
Plus, over here, the guys who gonna watch that, they don't know that Cloud 23 actually didn't, over there, we didn't do bar service. So there was this huge bar, big with 4 stations, and where we were working at the same time, not always, but from time to time we've been 8 bartenders with 2 bar backs, but still we didn't do bar service. So I wasn't in a situation how somebody is talking, apart of some private events.
Of course. Yeah. But I want to ask you something, Hristo. I want to ask you, please tell the public a little bit, which is the most common or the most international cocktail in the world, and which is the cocktail that you got sick and tired of making it, if there is one, or you love them all, or anything like that. But if there is one cocktail when you see, come on, I have to do again a Long Island or anything, or a Manhattan or anything like that.
Long Island most probably, but no. So I have a cocktail like that, but this is not like this is from Cloud, but this is a signature cocktail that we were making a lot. So to be international cocktail that everybody knows, that means that this is a classic cocktail. I'm never gonna get tired of making classic cocktails. No mistake. So no, forget about it. I have an answer for you. Sex on the beach.
Sex on the beach, eh?
Sex on the beach.
Sex on the beach.
100%.
So do you have something today, something you want to show us, or something special?
Like, I want to show you something. Unfortunately, I cannot show it to you on 100%, but I'm gonna try to explain you good enough what it is all about.
Go ahead.
So you and the guys watching gonna understand. So basically, over here, their traditional drink in Dominicana is called Mama Juana. That thing is with a very long history. Like, this is most probably the first alcoholic drink in the Americas, not only here in North and in South America. Like, that is the first alcoholic drink that they start making over here. So everything started with their native population, I would say, of the country, called Taino. I'm sorry if I don't know. I'm pretty sure that is called Taino. Most probably I don't pronounce it very well, but like, they were making a tea in a specific way. They were making a tea, which for this tea they were using a tree bark. They were using some leaves, herbs, spices, which can, of course, be different, depends of the region of the country where they're making it. So basically, this is it. Like, over here, when you come in Dominican Republic, you're gonna find many of it. Like, on the very first day, the people, even on the street or from the bars, they gonna shout to you, "Hey, amigo, Mama Juana," and stuff like that. So you can see in this small bottle, it's literally full with, as I said, with bark, with tree bark, with some different types of leaves. There are some dried herbs. Also, you cannot, if you want to improve the flavor, you can add dry fruits. I have at home, for example, with cacao. So basically, how this is made is almost the whole bottle is filled with dark rum. Can be with white rum, but it's not really common, I believe. Dark rum, a little bit of a little bit of red wine, and honey. So you need to leave all of the stuff inside to soak into these three ingredients for about 3-4 days. Depends. Everything is up to your personal taste. If you want, as everything, any other homemade ingredient. After all, the most important is how you're gonna like it, what kind of flavor you're looking for. So everybody can make it following his own taste. I'm sorry
I want,
again, I don't have here. I was expecting that on the beach bar they're gonna have honey and red wine, but of
it's
course,
okay.
what do they need for red wine in 30 degrees on the beach? So,
It makes
Makes
sense.
sense.
but yeah,
Yeah.
that is
Let me.
it's quite interesting drink that, let's say, I recommend it to the people that sooner or later gonna travel to Dominicana. That they were using this as a medicine for a very long time. It was prohibited to be for sale as an alcoholic drink. They were given it only to sick people, let's say. The doctors were given it, and also it's an aphrodisiac. So, guys, if you
Always
have
good to know.
problems
I might
with
start
rain,
drinking
if
after today.
problems are
Yeah.
coming, Mama Juana, natural
Mama Juana.
product, very effective.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay,
Have,
Good to know.
have you tried it? That's the only thing I want to know. Have you tried it or not?
did I try it?
Yeah. Did you bought it? Did you
Yeah,
have it or not? Yes, of course. That's what I wanted to know.
yeah,
Beautiful.
and it
Beautiful.
works.
And it works. It's beautiful. Very nice.
So Adrian wanted to
No,
ask you something else, I know.
no, I wanted to ask you some things. I wanted to please explain a little bit. I know I don't want to get into too many details or too many specific things on the process of making cocktails, but I want you to explain in big lines how it is when you look at the bar. You are a customer and you look at the bar and you just see someone shaking something, and then from that shaker is just the drink. Please explain a little bit the process of knowing the exact quantities, knowing exact which tastes are going well to each other. You don't just mix things into a shaker and you just give it away for the customer. You have to know all of these things. So please tell us a little bit the process. Oh, okay, not too specific, like ice, this,
A bit
but tell
vaguely.
us a little bit, a bit vaguely. Yeah, thank you.
I understand you. Like, for example, from my personal opinion, again, it's when you start doing something like that, to have this as a job, as a profession, very good, for example, to start learning classic cocktails. Why? Because that can give you a very solid knowledge about what exactly after that you're gonna keep doing. Because in general, what is to make a cocktail? You need to know how to balance the flavors. Like, first of all, you need to know which flavor with which you can pair, of course. Like strawberry and vanilla, let's say, or something. You need to make it drinkable. You need to make it tasty. Also, to be drinkable, you need to balance it. Every cocktail needs a balance between sweet and sour. So you need to know how much sour to, let's say, lemon to put, and how much sugar. You need to look for this balance, which is very important. Depends on the other ingredients, because some of the other ingredients can contain a lot of sugar already, so you don't need to add extra sugar. You just need to balance their flavor with some more sour. If you have a good knowledge about the, like, I would say, even a basic knowledge, let's say, of the classic cocktails, when you know how these recipes being made, like, for example, old-fashioned how it's made, margarita, Cuba Libre, Mai Tai, gin fizz. So after that, how you can replace some of these ingredients with something similar, so you can improve it, or you can just make some sort of a twist. maybe something that is gonna be interesting for the people is gonna be the same way how I'm saying how important is the balance between sweet and sour. Absolutely equally, I would say, is important the dilution. So, which means that having a water in your cocktail is actually a good thing. Not too much, of course, but still, when you're shaking and or where you're stirring, you're actually adding water. You are not just mixing and combining the ingredients. You are also adding water, which also works in a way for a better balance to your drink. But without like too many explanations for how long to shake and
Yes,
in what
definitely.
kind of shaker to shake the different kind of cocktails. Yeah, that is a good thing to know, that the balance and following the actual spec is super important.
We
Super important.
don't want
You
we don't
cannot
want
have a
people now.
cocktail that is made.
I was just want to say, sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to say we don't want people now to start stealing your job. If you give too many explanations, people will start going for your job. Yeah, so don't give your secrets learned in years of experience. Don't tell all of them. Yeah, please.
No, man, like I think that with the bartenders, we are. I don't know how it's in the other jobs, not only in the hospitality, outside of hospitality. I think that we, the bartenders, are always open to share our experience and to share our knowledge.
Nice,
It's not
nice.
it's not that common, and I don't think it's nice to be like, man, what I know it for myself. Go and
Yes,
go and read or go and find yourself the information you need.
this is true.
From
This
what
is true.
I've seen so far from very different bartenders, and when I was talking with them, everybody is like open to speak and to say what he thinks and give an advice or help.
Nice, nice.
So
Nice,
that's how it's
amazing.
supposed to be.
No, I will have to say yours was a good theoretical explanation, like a good lesson, as Adrian was saying. And I want to ask you what the last question that I want to ask you today is something that I kind of stole from Adrian, because he told me, like today he told me in confidence, oh, I wonder why this happens in the world, and now I will ask you instead of him.
Please,
So
please do.
so the question that we were both wondering about, actually, Adrian and I were wondering about this. Why is it that for example, in cold countries, and we could mention like Russia, because everybody always says about how Russian people or Eastern European people drink a lot of like spirits, very, very strong alcoholic drinks. So how is it that in cold countries there is this urban legend that if you drink a lot of alcohol, you're gonna warm up, and when you go out in the street, you're not gonna feel the cold? Is it true? Is it not true? Why?
So in general, for example, me as a Bulgarian, I think that this is sort of a traditional thing. We are not trying to escape from the cold because we have pretty warm weather, especially during the summer. In the summer, for example, in my city, can get warmer than it's here at the moment. But definitely, it's gonna warm you up. I think I've heard. I've mentioned Russia. I've heard that there is a, like, it's not gonna be surprised if you see in the corner of the street in St. Petersburg, let's say St. Petersburg, you see a guy drinking a shot or drinking from a bottle vodka because it's minus 20 or minus 30, and definitely that's gonna warm him up. So
Yeah.
more or less, definitely that is some of the reasons. But also, I would look for back in the days how the nations were living, how well developed they've been, or how poor they were, and most probably the hard life somehow put them in the direction of bigger consumption,
Yeah.
more than the more than the weather, more than the forecast.
Very well explained. Very well explained. Perfectly.
So with this, I have to say we've been watching people, beautiful people behind you walk back and forth. We see people playing ball like behind you. I've seen people play sports behind you. So
Show
the
us a
wind
little
blowing.
bit. Show us a little
Here
bit
we
with your
go.
laptop if you can.
The
Yeah,
sea,
there you
the
go.
palm
Show us a
trees, the
little-
wind. So
Ah,
just keep
beautiful.
enjoying your beautiful life over there. And thank you once again for being with us today, for being on the call today.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Hristo.
Super pleasure, because I'm
Thank you.
on the first place. I'm super glad to see what you are actually doing. Like
Thank
I'm happy. I'm absolutely happy to see you. I know you both. We've been working together, and I know you. And to see that actually right now in this situation, when many people just staying at home and complaining, you decide to do something, and you're doing it so nice, that makes me happy, and I'm more than proud, and it's such a pleasure for me to be part of one of your episodes. So thank you so much for
Thank you.
inviting me. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
real,
Chris. And I want to add
a lot
something
of
else. I want to add something else that I think pretty much at the same time, you also started something as well. So I mention it right now, and I will mention it later. It's a YouTube
Yes.
channel called 22 Cocktails,
Subscribe and
where
share.
Christos shows you how to make cocktails, and there are actually more videos. I saw a video like 18-minute long, like where you go from one place to another on a taxi. I don't know. It was actually funny to watch. So we will
Yeah.
mention that, and we invite everybody to also check out Hristo's page.
We're gonna put a link on our page so people can go and follow, as it's amazing how you mix drinks.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So once again, thank you, and we'll see all of you next week. So thank you again for watching, and have a good evening.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Thank you so much.